some of the things that I will say, yes, sometimes slip of tongues. Yes, because I know sometimes you can't buy what you can.
And you be just be right.
You be right. Mistakes go. And near me, what internet thing, and some of them be a wrong information. So you need to contrast and compare. But men can't let me say, I didn't know who will be can. You will still challenge. So when found what the and brand name come on. So bravo. I thank you so much. Now your former Shayenso. Any power can crowd we know. That is why they don't like Canada Japan. They don't the partner Canada Japan Kasa woman. They don't like it.
Uchatra.
Yes. But omo can't throw to say and conform you TV no red buswa. Things are quite thrown away. And you no crane worker. Some of phone in a healing. No more can crane there. And I am one. I am one she in your way you but for me, this is how God created me. It is Obekaya. And I don't know Pastor Reverend Yawa this interview. Was so or Henry Tama Minyama Yarison. The intima Minyama Yarison. Me never be Bruham in Gini. I saw them can never be Bruhana.
Munjaya Sandy
because of the background now. But me can't say actually say I are you genuine one. You need to trust me. Eti Yankano Cray. At the end of the day, me see me MPP. Eti me can we are by me. So me NDC near. We are as one. Obayamde. The mum say NPP koto aye vaccine. No ko sign $19 instead of ebia $10. Nti mama nka ho ase.
Ya koto bo 2 million beto cathedral.
Ya koto aye cathedral boba 2 million Ghana cedis and
dollars.
$2 million boba
from Israel.
From Israel. Ye dey. Edi nyankoma de nie. I am not about the individual, but I am for the development of
Ghana.
Me person me that me mana me wo mu no. Ye tua wo mu ka e wo Ghana. Me ba so what you say. It's not about John Dramani Mahama. It's not about Nana Akufo-Addo. Anybody.
It's all about Ghana.
It's about Ghana. Because omu ma wa brochiro anano me hu Mr. Mahama ma e wo Dubai.
Na debio wo MC na wo ano. Ne ma nyina gu abrochire.
Yes.
Secondary
school here MPs no do say no makobi. Junior high ni JSS ni nkwala. So take Ghana. Me dem me problem no. Enti who NDC am no ni problem. Onye me tamfo. Na Sami Jamfi. Na yiri MPP ni. And they don't know.
Yeah,
Sami Jamfi no was your guru in NDC.
MPP.
But who worry? And chase what the information about NDC Bemano. It's about marriage and it is about political issues.
Now what will come on? Edrisika Sama, as Gracia, condition of service. Omu pay ye friend say MP's welfare.
Welfare, unka home.
Unka home.
Yes. Unka home.
Yaba say ne be ma 500,000.
Malaria drugs, any HIV drugs, a caport.
Yes come for far.
What is MPB kasa home? But MP4 yen sheshe say ye ma omu welfare. Tienye wo de tienye
don kuma ni don kese
yes o makabom aha o makabom say mo welfare no mo ye aduma wia o mu akatua no o abra na o mo bono o mu hwe ye mu no enye wo de usika na atwa Legon girls wo de ahwe wonim spelele anko yam teacher na wo de
wo pieto akese pieto
teacher na wo de 15 million wo ti manage esi dan wono ne welfare bi eni
ba bia
eti ye ken se nyansa ni ma ese wala eti we are for the truth. Mama political parties entity
and the communicators no mon kan of fare no me my adwuma order office office of the vice president the president ni we no mama communicators no sade ani ba kwaku na ya tablet we ya yeso mo nane no ma nye sei no ma to ama communicators mo Ghana hina no ma kwotena se propaganda lies but ye ne ha ne
video bi papa bi okuma so NDC ni is ya wo confessing the
confess you true
yes so no so katro ade na obenya eti kanokre no Canada Japan the name enye wo party ni na so most of the times waka
yes onye
ka na yenche enye individual no eye the country obi se wo de epo be kokumase mama dem bride ye horizon ya dwene
na obi tumi aye
na ye hwe se ebeye ya na
broni aya mana yeye na de tumi mana yeye
amenyam bia ye betimi ayi niema wo kumase through the sea
ye di natem
enso ene ye di natem
media for di natem
yes almost sere no
actors e di natem
almost sere no
adey why dey Just was naked dinner time sinning some funina. And I miss your pressure none around. Yesterday.
What been telling me the whole Ghana? And then I see 30. 30. 1, 2, 3 up to 30.
Man, what that papa say no?
Anyway, the whole Ghana. And you bet me are you.
No, Johnny Numino Casa or what was Ghana could touch us in menu. Was to be able to me on to me.
On to me. Over to me.
And
you would there, we MPP need to do.
I love country. Normally just oil. And then if you see cash a kata.
Yes.
Oh, oil, you good. And to guess was what the problem to come as I did it in Ukraine. Obrawa mo.
And Timono and I'm saying Munima buy your loans, any IMF, any Bessia Bonqua.
They can't think outside the box.
They can't think outside the box. And Timinia, Mawakuma Raffle, Yanchi Ghana, what's it? Now, since you are winning Edmund, because you Chiauka. And now, near one, there were so many countries, so many Edmund. Nana may kind the history of Libya. Gaddafi, and son of Obe Warren, now would dine apartment. The beer won't set. A colleague was young, you were butchered. Me patrol, who scholarship on that.
Udilona, zero interest.
Zero interest. Me patrol, who call you Kakusiadian? Who has scholarship from the government? But who gold, who diamond, who bauxite, who lithium, who oil, who timber, who boniaman biakan. And for so ben, I was one. Enter your co voter register to oil. And for so ben, I mean, you and it's ye, when my young took political parties in Chile. Near penny papa. Obawo nimdie e dia chechire man ene na hiu enya temdidie enya John Mahama enya Bawumia enya sankofo ya e developer a obetima developing
yenhwe policies omo ideas enya kasa twitwie enya
ba mesi enya papa se nya biwo ye pe obi obetima ye kumase tunkran kwan aha ye 4
na accident tunta
kan ye ina ye so hyiren ye ntimi
Morocco aye Singapore aye last week,
yes.
When somebody betuja, you Morocco was Singapore. We are doing the name issue.
Yes, a
doing Bantama and Oxford Street.
Oxford Street, I won't cry.
Now, Oxford Street in Punina,
yes, and you should tell one time. Ghana, how you tell street light to?
Yeah,
I will be behind a sumwa.
You need to light to her.
Any hope. Are you
Shakwaya and Namso? One Johnson, one baller.
It is up to you, my brother.
Okay, wonderful. We babe twamon koma ye die na kwaku ansa na ye bekono sisia me no kasei eye enkuo mako miensa aye teacher checherefo nkuo edo mukuku no monsaka etumi ede agufom the 3 teachers union aye Ghana National Association of Teachers NAT, the National Association of Graduate Teachers and NAGRAT and the Coalition of Concerned Teachers CCT omina akambo mu baako emesise o declare nationwide striker Endra and Esase. Now, strike no Nina Eye Niama Miensa, enti no more strike. 1. Almost salary office of special prosecutor, Edo Monsato so. 2. Nanado and Ghana Mampanini Esebo se Obama mo laptops anko free. Omo say timetable omo de babonte no omo ni union no and to me kasa there's no consultation. And to imagine we so etimi e call a strike. Kobra, give me the video. After that, kwaku bebem na afi what to me e de nsem no etumi aba fa kasam fo ni no e fa to mami ansa na adan ho akwaba aba bedi enkomo pa.
The rampant changes of the school calendar without recourse to negotiation with the teacher unions is affecting the smooth operation of the service. Also, the blockade of teacher salaries by the Office of the Special Prosecutor without recourse to the laid down procedures is a major worry. Ladies and gentlemen, are called to action. In the light of the above circumstances and given the delays and unfulfilled promises on the part of the employer and the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission, and also threat from the rank and file of our members, we, the pre-tertiary teacher union, do stand with our members and hereby declare a nationwide industrial action effective today. We declare an industrial action effective today, Wednesday, 20th March 2024. to press home our demand. Thank you very much.
Now we any chacha from kabom komiensa omo di omo kuku no omo nsaka omo pen omo pencil chalk e dey go form say find 1 times 1 equals to 2. Draw and label the diagram below. Omasum abomasum osophagus ni niam no omo nkyere biem. Kwagu.
Yes.
In fact,
yes, I support them 100%.
You support them?
Yes.
Because you are once a teacher.
Because I am from that background, so I support them. Now, if we are saying we, me who say Bosumi aso, I'm another Danko Kufado. One minister section was here. Oman do allowances. So many son that. I'm out to say allowances are kept.
Okay.
Yeah, the more we carry forward, day in day out. The Oyama Kosiatan, Yama drum man. It is high time I was saying match every government boot for boot. What I say? Yama mugamu. Judgment. No who say yes. Now, and she say no di go from the mayanity me follow. Afi, we feel it. Yeah. Na ye no mu nyina na ko the same market e wa Agbaburushi. Ye no mu nyina na ko Ashaiman market. Ye no mu nyina na ko Odoko market. Ye kokoto board ye banchi nkontomre ni mako e wo the same market.
Ye ni parliament market ho.
Acho da bi.
Ho na nyama ne bo.
Acho da bi. MP no okwa the difference wo man say me faka ba won the V8 na eko. That is the difference because me na mama na aya me say onya me akoa enti sa no mbe
mokobo sa no moto no
mokobo the same thing na obeto no ana no market ya yeko no nungwa MP so mu wa nungwa ha any MC na ye ho no odi enti the same thing na ye nyina yeto no mom the difference is that the teachers are calling for their allowances bia buy no enye na gbe so obedi ato and the final problem e buy em say Nanke was said on the 29th of February 2024. Now was a document bia the 3 unions, the teacher unions, and the government of Ghana, and after the labor union of Ghana. No, then consume complete. But lackadaisically, a binary to train and answer. And for that matter, Omaya who said, "Nya dia bano, why you ready so or come into agreement and consensus with the plea our the document and for that reason, they have taken this action. Number 1. Omiso PBB a friend rent or housing allowance. It must be given to them because MPCJ, ministers J. Obi only Mr. Mahama ebesine or rent allowance.
Oji
rent allowance. Say ya buy a demand ye can want some dia. Give it to them. If it deals them, give it to them. So I support it. Number 2, yes, so pay entertainment allowance. Give it to them. Because Momoje, munyi nipa nchen wo bia e wo my Ghana. Eti media de omo kan nyina no I still support it. Number 2, omo se mo cheche laptop bi mo ti omo sika still ebi mu nya bi eye no kre
amen
eye no kre teachers ni bi nya omo laptop e pa cho mo fa omo ade nkomo omo mo ntimi a just give back their money to them na fe yentimi ento aso na enkoso. So these are some of the things 3 labor union as a teacher union si akabo ma omo ekasa na oni ade bi hwe Ghana and a dru baby assemba na ye can sabi ye beka ade na mana sipo no kwabra me de ayi ma sisi afato soma na o de hwe de ahwefo enhu empanyimfo ye yi wo ede wo mutu ekua no hwe unu de Ghana education service de aba kwabra afato so kire wo mu hwe eneme bi wa ya werefo na wonim asem si a de hwe akwase te say ye every institution and that's so keep schools open despite strikes by teachers. Ghana Education Union tells headmasters and that one.
Omojini yamofano
mo also mekai also reason about team amofra welfare.
Mami, odi amobano nko.
Yes. Mekai and also reason about team amofra.
Fawo woni se lese.
Yes.
Wona be koso.
The welfare of the children. Why na edwene ho? Enti akola na wo KG. Akola na owo P1.
The Bible.
Akola na wo P4 the Bible. Keep schools open despite strike by teachers. Ghana Education Service and they catch a head teacher. And the head teacher na no pay or sorry and also could be a prono to. Nam kola num ko gum. Who's disadvantage?
John man.
It is a baby a car find na kwan process a ye kokon. Headmaster will be a prono to our we or kwatena fi. One day kwan ntwem. It you know Ghana leaders are getting no problem with getting no. It is a man in the Banuko school now. And I'm saying no bench won so
Tabi on the bawa
yes, on the back school. Mammy, who did Jow Banon call yes, we give you school to
about the teachers and what strike say?
Yes. Never laptop wouldn't say, and yet ye say will be a say the teachers should go to school. The strike action started yesterday, and then a woman dika. I just want to be accurate. They will not go to school because woman declare woman strike action. enti ma oba ne nko ya bia punu na to but they should go ame de make nyina say de aban be ya e be ma ye ne ho atoye no ye nso ye nipa ye didi aye say de Mr. Mahama kasa aye say wasi kofi didi aye ama didi aye
ama benya bi adwuma ye mawuli benya adwuma ye
okay the policy bi sa no
24-hour economy
24-hour economy enti ye nyina
isifu benya adwuma ye
very good enti sa na tie nye ba akofo na nani abrewa ye nyina obi aho kire nye ba akofo na eni abrewa wo obi afie enti you do it and you package it
acheche for market ya say acheche for market ya obesa jini sika so man laptop umfama
yes umfama enti
na film pa na ye
yes enti most of the people who pa a teacher for our they are manageable when it comes to the house.
Yeah.
Management. A teacher for your number one. Management. Untimi nyimfro because bosom ni nyina na katua na 1000. Ne maye mienu omuko school. Otua dan katua nsuo katua enso de bia o manage hwefie. Eye nyame o. Adafu bi bisa me say, "Eh, it Ghana pa obitimi gi 600. Otimi survive ma bosom no so no ebroni." How is it by magical means? I'm say that the magical means afi na ohwe me wonti ase broni ba ade no odwe ho wonti ase ba nyame ne suso yi
dunia na wonso watumi aboba no ba me mani nko school mo why na se wonyini no be ye spoon kro abetumi dia sa koko edi mani ntrafie MP ni mini omo MPs ministers education for penifo no GS for penifo no obi ani wa ne ba eko school Ghana secondary school mpo nyu bi wom woni ko university ko Legon ko university wodi ko wini ba ko Cape Coast university Japon wo do ya wo ko busa wo MPs no ministers no to mo ma wo bia na omo Cambridge wo illocentric minded for no omo ma no e ho no mo so don't think about your welfare maybe teacheni me na me adwuma o Bayport Financial Service as a loan consultant. Let me tell you this. Ope omo di loan pa the whole Ghana ye teachers. Teachers for the loans adai omo ketua but before come kuma ba ya no na ope Ghana omo je ketua kese na ye teachers. Ento sisi bungalows ahodo ade ma cheche fo na ye MPs be na ne masesa local MPs and sankwan kwasembra ope ko ye fa ne say WhatsApp welfare teacher ni what did sika laptop and to say that wahene say wo kan de omo mba frɛ no obetin sama be ka de akire
o na me hwɛ animu ya hwɛ animu but ya mfa no kra nkyekere man mfa no anya wo nua nti ebia is not you are not being affected
o kasa message ba na edi watem
but ya mfa no kra nkyekere Ghana enti mu hwɛ ampanyimfo yi akwan wo de ye fa so obi awie university ofa na dwuma na aban no na ko otua ne 600 Ghana e was the modern Ghana ya Naku nipa no woyere wo ma ne mako school
so when is a system na me ebokro no
me say Ghana ni wo fa waduma wo kire wo se wiese
no
aban fa waduma wo kire wo se wiese no because enye yesuban no
that be
nipa enye yesuban no you see ada na ye komrofo kroma
ye sade no
adentia
the system
the system o AGC o any mining organization obeda wiese ka untimi wia because you do the work ensio krata untimi nkasa wo nkwadwuma e wo mining company because ye fa wadwuma no ye de akutrimenta ubehia se ensio beto ni nyina ama wo be sori anopa no bass be ba be fa wo e de wakwadwuma na wo mpe we na opade into absent
ensio be ntia akoba
yes absenteeism na say ensio to ya ma we coach fashion unni anu ye bia broni ni be mo ayadwuma na wo off day nso so a wo de be ma wa ma wakọ so wa anya onko off na wo ye adwuma na unum so wo san wo extra payment a wo de ma overtime adentia ene ye de Ghana no ya buye niama ye hu chi ye niama adwuma na wo ye no still you are suffocating
poko daily minimum wage entimi top anu anopa enti awiade na obedi anumede na obedi atawa bokoro no
yes yeah
obedi chair water
yes
electricity
yes
rent
yes
because the daily minimum wage 14 cedi pesos
na me no kase president na wo sisi no so the policy dem bia wo
obaja gracia
what the taxes ba na taxes na wo dey ba wo be ye dey wo sa 1000 Ghana no atimi afford sa nyama we nyina enyeye so you need to always ube bullying kofo enti medofo ye nchechire wo man forget MPP forget NDC ye nchechire Ghana man na Ghana ntimi njira ne naso na wo wasum bedo na mesomasom dweme wonu sa asum bia wo ho na se wo ye wadwuma me ye madwuma wo ji usika me ji misika wo mfa responsibility emeto me so do you agree because oh ye adwuma me ye adwuma ade ntia so obeha me pre SHS buy me udi tum say school fees and nkofo je wo ho no ese eso ate
kokusa unkwa sha ba so unwa wie teacher training nursing training 4 years in posting no bo so me kaka na won so nsabeka na won ne oye ne o ma de bebo bra no na wa frɛw one farmer no okowia obuoda oyare enti de na obeye
bra me nya adwuma bra me ba na yare
enso wo wie suapo
enso wo wie school bra me nya adwuma nye yes o ye lazy
system no
but the system no is suffocate ye ma ye homete enti wo be hwia enti nipa me say
nya atonfo
aka wo hia enti ko bebre ma say heaven heaven na yes ye bo ho kwan akono wo hia enti
koku enya wonya me sum sipio
daddy yes me say so ade say wo nkwa ho chem da wo chi wa ho wo ye sofo crowd timi fa phone akwasi mpacho me yire yare o nti wo mo kakra enso bo na yire yare do obedi entia
akwasi dia wo wuni adu akoba bi ne yase ye bema ye fa ne say ye be dwalo na ho atọ emto wu nti no wu ne yesi nti
e ya tro enti wo hia nti kofo bebrebe mesi the heavens gates enti na dwomtofo ne ka say awurade e ma me nye hia ni
na mankasa ntia
wo awurade enti awurade mfa wo bia so de e ma no
koku yelade magana nya hiafo ye mpelifo na magana ye hiafo ye ne hia ye enyama nya me dia ma ye nyame na metu gold ewade na metu diamond lithium farmer wo wie na duma me pa to nyankopon contractor
wo wie na duma ene ti obi kasa me de eya epobeko kumase eye nimdie epono de na me de ama wo
yesu si school dan
na mom obetumi si school dan to aso 15
enyama no de ama
wo de nyama na ma
wo so mpe
but wo na wo ye wo ho
no de ama
it is that
on se lithium almost 100% bi de ama nkofo
yes almost 100 share nkofo no beto o ma to almost share ni bi ama nkofo eti wo ye my bay
akwaji 6.6 billion
wo ye leader bay me say ewo bebia ekoso wo Ghana host eye president na to abama no
ene ya sabia hodo
ene ya sabia because road no ko ya hatre ya accident no e bet so 90% onji njum sa but e possible but we no e ya no manum road ene ye haba ko eti wo ye overtaking na obi be pie oku
na kokoko ya sabia emergency e just plastic tape obi a wo ya na ese wo da ho na ne ma ye ne ya ye say
yes
ene ye de mpane ani we nsuo de esi so eti ye ku ye de nka ku dada
you are dead
hospital ye de nka ku
you are dead eti forget you
ye de nsuo si so to plastic tape
enka no kre
plastic tape asa papa ne aka mi ensambo
yenka no kre ne enchechire mai na sofo no mso mu mpa amamwo ne de me say the bosomfo bedi man so a ye behwe se COVID-19 ba na ye nya asore okay
na me president bi obeba ko beka se ye ngu nsole enyina nsole mo ho ma de na nke hwe Ghana asofo de mo beye ana mo ntua tax
tax ne de ene ye behwe no mo tonton oil 50 million ne 20 million
o mo yinfiri o
na nka ya hwe ade so that is how it is mo ma yan build Ghana together yes eno ne hia NDC e ya lo said uko heaven asori ni heaven yes heaven asori ni ho Maranatha ni heaven Pentecost ni ho eso ne asori no etan wo mo ho sorry o mo tan wo mo ho we ye de ko heaven ye mfa nchechire ma o ye MPP NDC a o man na development say ya
family be say ya
o de nsu e batute e be yira fa
o ko kunyam trema me metime ma video endura na nsan ne nsu toye amanfo ka safa e won kan endura just 93 days
as well as last year the flooding in Ghana Ghana ntiu o mu ka so be package on say 1 year na twem
ye be no team
the same
after one cast
yes
so be sika so koye
yes
data
o mu ka so be ye e no ma ye nti tie ye me nkunua because of politics dono na mo ndwini mom me se me minya NDC ni ba me ware na ye den minya SDA ni ba me ware no na so jehu afo mo ware o nkofo ada wo nko jehu a we nya me somo no we ka
o mo ntoba
yen ka no kra chire na wo kan nkofo nti ase
nya me sompa na elusuni
yo we nya me sompa
ni okay yabada utaw na yatumi akoba na enne enkomo na nkasamu no atumi eye yawura Alban Kingsford Sumana Bagben ni nane se andra eye wona na nado dan kwakufu ado agi won se ministers na yemvati wo mo na yemfa omunko omu various institutions enkoya adwuma no papa yi se yelwa da fia meko etumi de asam no court court will leave, but among Abani Sadabi, among Konkoya Juma, Ghana, NCP, and Yamabato to Basa, Etelameka say, Menuka as a finance minister, Juma CCA. A great minister, Juma CCA. By formula, so much so more checks and balances more, and in communion do. Now, so I'm born maybe to good night. Good father say, so on until BGTQ bill, war joint court. Really on the Baba Bonting and Sana so bad Santana or Sante, what the Abadia, and almost so chain court. Tinyabra, almost Obama Mokai. Now, fee, a year, 1 hour, a set me procedure more, now Mutibeya Jumano, to me Akoso. Young Comra, your die would tell, Yaba, Afi, Obatua Sumunsam.
I also bring to your attention the receipt of a process from the courts titled Roxanne Nelson Eche K. Dafiamapo versus the Speaker of Parliament and the Attorney General, suit number J1/12/2024. Which process was served on the 19th, that is yesterday, March 2024, and an injunction motion on notice seeking to restrain the Speaker from proceeding with the vetting and approval of the names of the persons submitted by His Excellency the President until the provisions of the Constitution are satisfied. Honorable members, in the light of this process, the House is unable to continue to consider the nominations of His Excellency the President, to use the language of the Attorney General and Minister for Justice, quote, in the spirit of upholding the rule of law, unquote, until after the determination of the application for interlocutory injunction by the Supreme Court. Honorable members, this is the precedent that is being set by His Excellency the President for all Ghanaians to follow.
Honorable members, in the light of this process, the House is unable to continue to consider the nomination of His Excellency the President. Now way, Speaker of Parliament, Entendra Menoka say, Enyama, Entimi Ankoso. Now utieni nsem na wakaya na Dafia Makpo Rosin Nelson Etike Dafia Makpo versus the Speaker of Parliament and the Attorney General. Suit number J1/12/2024 J1/12/2024. Menuka say injunction okoto de to motion is now edaso koso nanso ni nyam no mo so mo so betimi approve wo mo nanka omotimi ayo modjuma ba de na do akan de ene eno ano no omo nso tumi atwa sensan bagu yebo video no bagbon ensam esefata speaker eni mra se bedwa fie etimi eye sade we ana so mo hwe Ghana ye die no mo nja emanenka na kufa do nso niam a oyeye no embra me no ukasa ekiremu twaso emagana fo na ewia yebeba domkuma ne domkese enso nsema o makam.
Yes, this is where we say when we need power. you need to maintain power.
When
you get it, when you need it and you get it,
so
you need to maintain it and maintain it forever. At this point, NPP is digging their own grave.
In what way?
In what? So many ways. Number one, the power was in their hands. Ghanaians gave them the maximum support in 2016. And in 2020, they gave them again because they trusted them. From 2016 to 2020, Ghanaians believed in the Ghanaian believed in Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo and the NPP party. For that matter, the difference between John Dramani Mahamad's party, NDC, and that of NPP in terms of seats were almost 33 to 39, there about 33 seats difference. It was around 169 against 109 or something. It was 30 plus difference and in terms of seat. Now, Ghana for sure Niema Ekoso after the first 4 years, and Niema be a ACC from 2020 to 2024 year woman. The ordinary Ghanaian as from 2020 to this time you woman, the ordinary Ghanaian as now sometimes when you get power, no one for 2 million ama will be any GDA wo say ya nebisi. And they say after the second election after 4 years of Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo MPP, the second tenure of office, a year day now for the a difference of almost 30 a year seat. After Abeka Bako and Abeka Bako Pena Yeto, think a woman in a year, Juma a year, Castel, MPP for leader, and Casasim way Emma Montinda. And control finish and Sankroma, Ebi Befra woman, Emma at the end of the day, 136, 137. And there was a MPP for your majority in terms of speaker. And yet then we may say that point. Actually, I will say, and conform you MPP, I mean, you sometimes you conform Okasachi Oma, Omunti. Until I make catch you say, when you get power and you play with the power, the free wins up. Now, I yet to say, Kusiano, one shall see you say free wins some, na boha, and you say, ya. Number one, the MPP, a year speaker, and a tear drama. I'm Rawi, you can't matter. I'm telling you the gospel truth. Now, with him, when I no create trodo, say, yes, ye kono no create pine swa. Tienye, I no create trodo, Alban's man babin in your bonnet. Because Papa Bia, your friend, a year MP for South Die, your friend Roxon, Nelson, Jafia Mapo, where South Die MP for NDC. At the same ministerial appointment way, or their court, a year court, Supreme Court in him. Then Niema Bakum Yunubiwa, Omunshem Emma Womu. And Timino Kase, injunction at the approval of these ministers and their deputies, injunction at the Omuso. But with him, the difference between the gay bill and that of the new ministerial bill now, you're holding on and say, T. Bako Diano, Emma Mine Konechi. Bako Diano will not allow, without passing that bill, it will never allow the country to retrogress. And no, a gay bill.
Until
LGBTQI plus bill.
No.
And no, without passing it, without assenting, and to me, minor and retrogress that.
Okay.
But the other one, if you don't appoint ministers, because it's when you go for if you don't appoint ministers and constitutionally accept them onto the field on their way, they will be anchored that finance ministry. Now a vacant vacuum indirectly. Number one, the next 2 months, Ghana will enter into a ditch because acquire sito, acquire empty space. Or mining to me running, Emma or common fund, Emma salaries arrangement about the government institutions. 8 million contractors also 8 million. And the mechanical catcher will say, Dafia Mako, we are aware of this injunction. Or MP. And the combat na kasa behind the scenes. I'm a bibia left it. Nanka way ya pass it, but mechanical catcher. Tie, me say, we will come tinchinia.
Your boom.
And the enemy, so when such will be a numa, you pine a pumpem, or pine a pumpem. Me say, the power that the MPP had, and they almost watching, and no, and they drew a from a Pioto bread. The reason is that, me say, Gay right, NDC, at the end of the percent of the gay right, NDC for position. No, so one pass here, young penny down, and no position. It is over catch and say, would the injunction be our court, of which a no correct injunction or be any over to me unfair behind the scenes? A passes idea, a contemptuous attempt. It's another Danko Kufan or your lawyer on ye. No, mom, another Danko Kufan say, ministerial position injunction. That's no, mum. You bet me a candidate to try to say, young folk will be unqua or mining to me run and until Abra, a yet only e-levy problem no call court. The Supreme Court for can say young passes our tax when you levy we are or mining Jessica and from Monaco, Messica. It's dear of Rata kind, ye do too. And until upon all blanks any other disadvantages piano, ye do too, and my ye levy every year. Really, Babonch, 7-0, every year. But Bianaki, Shemu ye Bakubia, they will say, I didn't win through on Kababwa. But while I do point him to the point to say, yeah, or mining to me running. Or being will bet me I withhold the country at a ransom. So we understand this standstill. I ain't Juma. Now at this point, a business they can't say 136, 137. See, so we'll be on parliament at 136, 136, and I say anything. They can't say, Mr. Power. NDC is for the gay bill. NPP is for the passage of the ministers. Who is going to approve them? And don't forget, NPP won't going to approve because they need to test or something for them to approve those ministers. It's a Georgia. On said, and I know can welfare. They came together. Now, gay bill. Now, the ministerial bill approval. Have you seen what is happening? Me catch you say, the power no. I feel the year first one you go.
137, 137, bo.
And then 137.
138, 137. Say 275.
275.
Yeah.
And 137.
138, 137. Yes. On NPC.
Yes, exactly.
Now a pie imponi benya.
Yes, so we descend by. That is the reason me say the babin ye, you know, a logical way and why. A constitutional idea would be entity. Baby can send bitch and Danka Kufan. Also, Oboro, West, no different constitution. He borrow it. He borrowed that weather, whatever to Nasibi the field. Then they sent it back to another Danka Kufan. Ayano say injunction that ministerial approval. Ayano credit. Nanado needs to hold on. And number two, the injunction that's why you don't have to allow anybody one nominating say minister for agric, for finance, for any position be what you are appointing. Me say, afei any ye beku na kosua. I mean to bring. But when him and kayane do be passage of these things na Jojo nanka but afei any ye do the Red Sea. Ye be hwe kwan ye be fa so a ye betimi across. If you leave power to go, no one hwe ya say ya neto.
Okuya nsema majority and draw and nibre afenyo markings di animu na omo ebegina simpie ni bema so e kasa kire Ghana ne nsem trofo na anu odin pa ba yenko ye banso a ye be kasa for na afia ko minority enso to forcing enso nchema no so e ba be kire mo kwabra otumane ni Ghana for entumi eninkomo.
Which letter today Mr. Speaker had cause to respond to? Mr. Speaker expresses his agreement regarding the content of the said letter. Unfortunately, Mr. Speaker went beyond expressing this agreement and rather pronounced judgment on what in his view was wrong. Mr. Speaker did not only stop there, he also used very unsavory words to describe Mr. President. We believe that in a democracy, we have a right to disagree on views expressed. But we do not have right to say things to denigrate another. This, we think, is very unacceptable. Now let me get into the main issue. Mr. Speaker said that Mr. President was undermining democracy and that he should have resorted to the Constitution in making certain communications to the House. We in the majority beg to disagree on the position taken by him. If you carefully read the letter that was sent to Parliament, Mr. President limited himself to the processes before the courts. And the fact that Parliament itself, through an affidavit, had joined issues. Parliament has filed an affidavit in opposition and is in court. In fact, Parliament is a party to the suit. So for us, we do not see how this would have to affect the proceedings of Parliament. In any event, Mr. Speaker has always deferred to the leadership of the House to guide him in the conduct of business. This morning, the leadership of the House sat together to discuss the various items to be taken. We have finished some of them. There were some that we were supposed to take, and we're told that Mr. Speaker would have to take the chair. It's very disappointing that after Mr. Speaker had made known his own views about the letter sent from the presidency to the clerk, he adjourned the House Synod without giving room for the leadership of the House to even comment. This we
Koku, yeblen intini ntimi ento so be mfa magana for. What nsem ni bia eye we di bana sa ubokwa ni mu na se baba be sia. What nsem a okan ye edefa we no se amwa ma sisia Ghana ye business awodo ye no. Any woman ntimi nkoso because city no aba be ye ntinti wan e na betoto niema etu bia mai. Won so betime take be 3 months. Anafo when you cry because a court omo follow name on thing. Say dey na ye be kono. Uti ni nsa. Okay, enti hwan na ayo na yesi. Bisa omuhwe na maminti asma ai backbench kan yenie or say honorable members, in the light of this process, the House is unable to continue to consider the nominations of His Excellency the President in the spirit of upholding the rule of law. Yes, and no near seminar ye kan wasem e ba chaw injunction bi nsi injunction no say LGBT injunction ye adwuma any nomination injunction so be yadwuma. Okay, it's as simple as that. Nemom senka wo owo die mu a enka wonim eye no kwese injunction da so ko obebu ne nya guso. What I say senka ye wo die mu a eye no kre pa say injunctions e da so but obebu ne nya guso because without appointing these people on mining timi nya adwuma tabi eye no kre o man no will come to a standstill. Nemom me catch them say me say so obi or say odiboye ni kaso no obekuma pepa to boa huye ye ka no kra kire Ghana for me say NPP for power na omunyaye no o man no mu dia to change tiri so e dia koto odiboye ni so no obeko a na so for plan A na anye ya plan B so many ways etu nim NDC for nye bone Alban Sumani Backbench onye bone a onye ye ne say ono wo che ya serve no na na do nka kufado me pa to anu a secretary na o share ne so won sa krata no na na do nka kufado onye bone you o ho ne abrani injunction say asem bia bedi ye nsem na asem ni nyina ne say yes o person pass bill bia ye LGBTI me pa cho ye di injunctions ato so woni hu kwan this ya kan asem na wi na do nka kufado akokro ne nsem fi asem no say court nye na dwuma enye sa good okay Backbench so wo ho wotene fie wotene na buam ena wo hu say Supreme Court na wo mde bi man na do nka kufado ode ye adwuma sa same Supreme Court na dafia meko e de wo mu ko ayi say one also on to me nominating no approve some ministers and another than for the Biabano. If you say assembly or house say can we answer and the Supreme Court to farmer Dafia me pokwai. Enti one also one the cat and share this and one also catch a Ghana for say maybe and come by approve mo now so may yepe menya contempt of court I may be chimia to yebe maso me face the law me pese menya sem ne say enti no na na dan kakufa do nko for na do maba no me ntimi approve wo mu ne ochena ene na duonu ka ho enti ma Supreme Court no oye wadwuma about LGBTQ no ma sa Supreme Court na o mu nya sa adwuma wo wie o mu hia fa o mu bra eye simplicity abato kakanka o ga na wo yi e chena sem no eno na obi enti unim in the building of a nation say ye say ya number 1 genuinely any development of a country say MPs ni ye say ya genuinely they are disturbing Ghana. And no money. Genuine because medical difference. Me say LGBTQI bill. And my country. And on the engine to me and you win. My country is and say
But when you finance minister, agric minister, or mine be connected. Now, most of us want woman a budget. Near could young Kofoka from the finance ministry. And go into a finance ministry, a minister, and you know, yes, it's a woman a yes, Edman. Rose, and so the same thing. It's all the departments are changing ministers. No, I have the young, there are potholes there. I'm not the whole. It's a way you bet me a near Busso, a BS baby. As one woman Busso. Yes, one woman Busso. Or people say another uncle from the side by no one woman near Busso. It's a year. Yes, on your money. Yes, and your constitutional mandate now, what the year to Nenko, so Baku is superior than the other. Kwaku, my minority, out of force, no one should do money. Now, Fientiania Coso, I will not say the fee. Now, Fiaba, Yaba sounds so, Etimin wedding come on. Now, empty before nice no Etimidiatum, and Tiacado, Efama, Yere, the minority, and so Etimika.
Parliament passes a bill and present to His Excellency the President. The President must assent to the bill or must refuse to assent to the bill when it is presented to him as the President of the Republic. These are the only options, and in this case, there is no middle ground at all per the constitutional imperative. Ladies and gentlemen, let me also say that in the instance case of the Human Sexual Right and Family Values Bill 2024, President Akufo-Addo has taken a strange and alien position, which is unknown to the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. Given that Parliament has been injuncted in a matter of the President's nominee for the position of ministers and deputy ministers, it is obvious that this Honorable House is also unable and cannot approve those ministerial nominees His Excellency the President has also presented to Parliament. At this point, the President may have to be innovative, dynamic, and think out of the box by downsizing the size of his government. Let me say that merely piling on numbers by way of appointing ministers and deputy ministers does not signal to the people of Ghana that the President understands the seriousness of the mess that he and his government has created in our country. Ladies and gentlemen, let me also say that this may be a good time for President Akufo-Addo to listen to the feedback about the size of his government. At the very least, the two top political parties, namely the NDC and the MPP, agree to downsize government size the way forward. There is an urgent need to downsize the government in order to save the taxpayers from huge cost of running the government. Already, President Mahama has signaled that in his next government, he will not appoint more than 60 ministers. Interestingly, we are also aware that the Vice President, who was part of a government that appointed 125 ministers, has come around to also promise 50 ministers. So all what we are saying is that, may I ask, ladies and gentlemen from the media, what is the prudent justification for a Minister of State at the Ministry of Finance, which with 2 deputy ministers and a Minister of State? Again, why do we have the same ministers and ministers of local government, 2 deputy ministers and a Minister of State at the Ministry of Local Government? Ladies and gentlemen, I wish to conclude by saying that the Right Honourable Speaker has made an important call, a call for Parliament to unite against the autocratic tendencies of our President and this government. We in the NDC minority is ready to protect the sanctity of the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. And we stand with the Speaker of Parliament in this. Let the President of Ghana and his government be aware that where this country is going is strange under his watch. And the NDC minority will not countenance it. But I want to urge that it is obvious that His Excellency the President has breached the Constitution and we will advise ourselves. In the coming days, don't be surprised that we will begin impeachment proceedings.
When so I don't come on one sebe de fie omonso and sama mo de beto yanim efa Andra and near my coso yera aban Kingsford Sumana Bagben nin sama wo de tuja senano eye proceedings no for vetting process no omotimi e de ababa be sinya bron beto aso a chese court etimi the ruling no ababonti na judges de ababonti we minority.
Yes, one of those things, but Ghana is a funny country where we live in there are certain things that my dream and uncle Fobu had new sabin come that's what I should be fee. If rules and regulation constitution a typical example papaya or kasai yes told him all court here yes it is a near maybe to tow ya kasabri ni kwaso ojina or kasa he said oh you say it patrol ono no kofa ambulance by na sikane ambulance amba sisi ojina court on the May 5th or so the judgment ba. But me can say the politicians ni phone na most of them are confirm.
Omo kan okare. Ti ato force ni kwan se nkoye ba no dani.
Na ato force bet there. You see onu o preach this I was come with clean hands. Ato force na onu o preach way. Na oni wura fi se na asem ye be man judgment on May 5th or so or kwaje judgment.
So judgment ni mind no untimi fa untimi ka so aye.
Utie ni ye. Se enipa ye de aduma sha won sa wo ye ma ho te. Problem be enu ye nia no mkofa ambulance adaka to baye eti eniema na ekoso me ka kire say politicians mwa for the development of Ghana ya me pesa me carry yes
both MPP and DC
me say omu nyina dem omu mwa for the development of Ghana na we no agin himinti eden na woni mi say NDC no obi nim say ebetimi afri jeje nsemo
dabi
nobody thought of it but tama jeje tiase nyina no and na say din ka chen say ya chechiri kraman kraman na wopo
ya chechiri no
enti ontimi emma emepo bio but eduru baby na jeje ye ne party no na nchen me ka kire wo say in a gradual process susu abomopufu obo ni nsuo a time may come that Ghanaians will believe say ampa enough of MPP enough of NDC afi mo mayempe the extraordinary and neutral person obetimi a chechere wo man Ghana e de amayem a ba constitution na politicians na bo mu asafo hene no na article 71 wo mu na wo benefit 86 87 there also won find to develop the country no ye benya wo bia ono you already dusted ono na busuafo nyina ye wo ye wie a politicians nyina comedy wo mu omo
se ne ti omo ka
yes e comedy wo mu omo menye ku se sa wo mu ye hiafo e no mba bedi wo man no so eni nti mba bedi so a omu sika ni bida diana sika no sika dam na abo wo eti omu fom no sa nyafnyaf obedi sika na kosi da ben ne mom edimpa wo hei ya na eye kire unyade eti de asie no me de I am still on my feet and on my stand and on my point say yes rhetorics ni bia ne mom Alban Umani Kingsford Babin onye boni the NDCs omunye boni mom you be hwede at this point ohia mboa and then the most important thing
na je say we scratch me back am so me scratch o back e bi na esi no
me say na woni ana duru ba bia that gay asemi me say 2015 na Sam George say ye mfa nya hwe nya no ne hia ye hwe kwa ye be foso ye be dum ye be makania
aye adwuma
gina so na ya ye adwuma eno ne ade hia there are certain issues bi e ba wo mema ho akwasi oni kwasi ye concentrate on those issues wasi ye trans ne ye focus on issues bi wo ho a destructive issues enti sabre no na memene ne yakre na gay na say enti wo kache yen se nya no ne hia ne mom problem Ghana wo e dum so yemfa so ne enne Sam George na akofa saade o yabaya enne NDC fo gina so a emma enne omun so say injunctions at the approval iswa omun timenye of which it is right but sometimes my catch say the value of the two cases no bako ye more valuable than the other and ke betimi consider na ye bibi na minister akwesha finance no ye adwuma na minister akwesha agric sector no ye adwuma na minister bi akwesha omu positions no matimi ye adwuma na nka the 10 months ahead of us no Ghana atinya konanim me say ya approve sankofo ya how do you think that Ghana will work again
the government
I guess the next 1 month to come be dia Ghana be boka
na kokwasha MPC no omo yesi ni bi nka omo eyemene wo because ministry no agriculture ministry ni ba local government anyway na eye me no mpuntuo no no nya sika wie sisi am local say bosomi so obeje na ketua ba me ne we
okay eno na e factor ndu ya ban dwuma yini a nya o ma mfa back door anhye niema there's no finance ministry na watimia ade eye salaries aba o ma approve the accountant general so muntia nkofo ka it will be affected
cash
enti yehwe the days ahead no interesting times but me catch you say fire disua de unya power wan hwe ni free we say ma se kusua e ma biu e wasase and then nkofo sheki e wo makonyo mote so nkofo to sa as a result of unim sabe obeko unim nkofo nam behind the doors e pa chew for the approval of these ministers because we know the consequences we know the outcome of this but when you money o ye the emra na wo dey ba ye no eno an ye dey aduma e constitution ye dey aduma when you bone and I am for it I am for them
kokoba ni de ba
o nyina ye baba and I am for them I am for the NDCs I am for Babin minim say e Babin na di kan
yes
and the NDC for be second and yes I am right what one ye bring
letter today no be ye
into dey no be ye
to watch letter no so workers and watch letter
watch wo say na na so tiwa onya Supreme Court dey no the same
Tony General
nti ye ntwe ma Supreme Court nye na dwuma o wi a ye be approve wo na mfie du ne be dia you see
Edia ye di boteti no eno anya de boba 0537158638 afi unsu betumi aba ya chechire o man Ghana na sisi ne akwakoba no eye me no ye die ye mpuntuo wono no oh Ghana mse amana ye me no ka say oh loans here kwagigi watene de contract fence contract ho de di man na me no ordinary Ghanaian no ye sabe de ka salary for man hello government work me ne wo to be da koso e wo ye mpatamu enso na yesi emra metuma wo no wo sanitation minister no yesi ya mane ma mefa na konya no otimi atoto ne ma masika na ba didia na obeye ye ngene Ghana ho Ghana first